Hello, Maddie here. One, I am so sorry for missing an upload. I got sick and Evan got sick. And then, the holidays are crazy. So, we are taking a break from wrapping Christmas presents to come give y'all a video. This week, we are not talking about a specific book, but New Year's resolutions, year goals, things like that, and how they pertain to books. So, I started creating book goals for myself. According to Goodreads, my first year was 2018. I'm not sure if I feel like I started before then, but it was never anything formal, obviously. And my book goals have fluctuated massively over the years, depending on what was going on in my life. Every single year, I've either gotten to my goal or above it, besides last year. My book goals are for new reads only. I do not count my rereads because I do lots of rereads throughout the year. And I don't feel like that counts because I'm going to them for like comfort and things that I know. This goal is for introducing new things into my life and into my repertoire. This year, my book goal is 23, and I've gotten to 22, and I have 1 week left in the year. But I think I can do it. And do you want to know why I think I can do it? Even with the craziness of having friends in town, of Christmas with the Boltons, and then we have New Year's with my family. Why I think I can get it done is because of a wonderful app called Libby. Now, I do not want to lose you because this isn't like, it's not Goodreads and that it doesn't track your books, doesn't help you find books. It's so much better because Libby is a free app that connects to your library card that gives you access to your entire library's catalog. And you're like, okay, well, yeah, but I still have to physically go get the book or put it on hold, whatever. No. We live in a wonderful world of both ebooks and audiobooks. So I have access at any given moment to every single ebook and audiobook that my library has. And this is awesome and wonderful. And one of the things that frustrates me the most about people's excuses for not reading is I don't have the time or the access. I don't want to go buy books, whatever. Library cards are literally free. You pay for them with your taxes. So I guess it's not free because you pay for it with your taxes. But you don't get a choice whether you pay those taxes or not. But you do have a choice of whether or not you actually go and get your library card. You will always have a permanent address. If you are under 18 living at home, it's your parents' address. If you're over 18 and living at home, it's still your parents' address. If you are a college student, well, one, your college is going to have a library. But two, your address for whatever town you're in can be used because you just need a utility bill or something to show, yes, I do actually live at this address. You don't need to be changing your driver's license every time you move. So you are already paying for this library card. All you have to do is go and get it. You have to go and get it once and never again. You don't have to do anything else. And I was like, I'm sure there's a renewal process, but I don't even remember doing anything for it. I just remember them being like, you want to renew, right? And it's like, yes, I do want to renew. I don't actually remember doing anything. They just want to make sure you still live there. So library cards are free. This app itself is free. You put in your library, you get your library card from Library Once. You put your library card into the app once. There's no login process. You don't have to remember passwords or anything. It's just your library card and your library's catalog. And this has helped me reach my goal just so well because I didn't read at all this summer, but in the last 4-6 weeks, I've read 10 books. This is what I love doing. I love looking whatever genre I'm in the mood for. So lately it's been Christmas romance. I've been reading basically Hallmark movies as books. But what's wonderful is you can look up Christmas romance and then you can filter by, I've been doing audiobooks because I've been listening at work. And then 2, available now because like physical copies, even the e-copies of books have a limited number. Libraries, they pay to have access to, 5 copies at a time or whatever. Not everything is available all the time. There's books that I have on that I've requested that I'm, further down the list of loans to get it. But at any given moment, I look up audiobooks available now, and then I get all the things. And it's all free and it's so awesome. And I'm so grateful because I was really bummed around Thanksgiving being I'm not going to meet my goal. And that really stinks because I love reading. I hate that I haven't read as much this year. And this just kind of stinks because I do pride myself on being a reader. Not that that's the only thing about me and that reading new books is the only way to measure how much of a reader you actually are. But it's something I really enjoy doing because I want to be continually introducing new things, new stories, new everythings into my life through reading. And so this has been so wonderful to be able to get books right away, that I can, read right there. If I'm interested, if I come across something, I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. I can either immediately get it from my library or put a hold on it and then get a notification when I now have access to it. How cool is that? And it's literally all free. It is all free. Anyways, so you can do searches. No. There we go. So look, so this is where you can search. You've got all your tabs down here. This is just their public library page, kind of their landing page. So this middle one is just your general landing page so that you can see I have San Antonio Public Library. You can add library, add cards if you have multiples. I don't quite know why you would, but if you do, just in case. This one it's a stack of books. It's my shelf. So we've got my current loans. Most of them are Christmas. Will probably get returned without me listening to them, but that's okay. So you've got your shelves and it has loans, holds, and tags. What I love about their tags is they have smart tags, which you can either look at books that you've sampled. So like either, ebook, audiobook, whatever. You can do tags for notify me when it's available or if my library gets this book. Because there are some books I wanted to read that my library doesn't have. And so I will probably go try to find them somewhere else, but I do have a notification on so that if my library gets them, I will get notified. And then they have the tag for books that you've borrowed. I'm like, I love it. It's brilliant. It's so helpful that it just automatically tags things without me doing too much. So it can be like, oh, what was that one thing I thought looked interesting and then didn't do anything with? And it just has stuff saved for you, which is super cool. And then it also has a timeline for you of loans, holds, etc. That's that last tab right there. And then I just literally on the app listening to a book. And I think it actually put me right at the beginning. It did put me at the beginning. I already finished this book. It was very cute. It was one of my favorite Christmas books that I read. I'm going to tell you about the other one because I like the other one better. But this one was very cute. Once Upon a Royal Christmas. I can read things. So it reads, or I personally read things through the Kindle. Audiobooks are literally just through this app. You don't have to go download other things. You don't have to install things on your phone. It's just through this app. It has how to listen to them, how to read them, and everything. And it's awesome and wonderful. And I want people to know about it because I want people to read more than they do. As we're coming to the end of the year, whether you've reached your book goal or not, whether you have a book goal or not, I would highly recommend it. Even if it's something like 6 books, that would be a book every 2 months, which I feel like personally is super doable. But I also know that everybody does different things with their time and they don't prioritize reading the way I do because we have different hobbies and interests. And there's literally nothing wrong with that. It's just different. But I think reading is really incredible and wonderful. And it's something I love about it is not only is there something for everybody, but it can be a common ground between people, which I think is really cool. So I would recommend if you want a place to kind of keep track of that, that would be Goodreads. That's how I keep track of my goals. Like I said, I've been keeping track of my goals since 2018 through that app. It's really cool to see what I read each year, but I also really like Goodreads for reviews. So when I am looking up books and being like, okay, what do or don't I want to read? I love going to Goodreads because most books have a lot of reviews and rankings. And so I don't really read anything that has below a 3.5 review out of 5. I typically try to stay above 4.0 and above because I can. Because there are literally there are more books than I could read in probably multiple lifetimes. So I'm going to be picky about the books that I'm going to pick up. Yes, I read super cutesy, shallow stuff, but I'm also not picking up I don't want to say so shallow it has nothing to it because I do definitely still read books that probably don't have great ratings because they're just so cheesy. But also books I'm like, oh, this sounds like an interesting concept. Is it actually good? And there have been reviews where it's like, oh my gosh, like this, author totally killed it. It's amazing. And there's been reviews where it's like, this sounds really cool. It's a terrible book. Execution is miserable. And that stops me from reading horrible books that aren't worth my time because I've done that. I have read, and I mean, some will still get through. But honestly, nothing makes me more frustrated than spending my time, energy, and emotions on a book for it just to be poorly executed, poorly written, and I'm so over wasting my time on bad books. Not to say you don't have an excuse, because like I said, some people prioritize reading, some people don't, and that's totally fine. But if you are a person who wishes they could prioritize reading more, but doesn't have the time or energy to go to a library, doesn't have the means to just go buy ebooks and audiobooks willy-nilly. Or, I also personally, I don't want to own books that I don't like. I rarely buy books that I have not read. I have so many books on my bookshelf. I'm not going to add books that I don't want other people to. If I don't want other people to like look at it and find it interesting, if I don't recommend that book, then why would I waste up space on my bookshelf? Oh, I wanted to tell you about the other Christmas book that I read that I loved. It was so cute. Snowed In for Christmas. So there's a main couple, but it revolves around the like love lives of 3 siblings that have all gone home for Christmas and get snowed in because of course. And one of them, it's kind of a couple accidentally thrown together. One of them is an engaged couple who has miscommunications. And one of them is like childhood friends that have never told each other how they felt. I recommend it. I wanted to read it again like a couple weeks after I read it. And it hasn't been available. And I'm like, I get it because it's such a good book and so many people want to read it. But I'm like, but I want to read it. So I need it to be available again so I can listen to it again because it was so cute. Snowed In for Christmas by Sarah Morgan. It is so cute and so good. And it's the book that kickstarted my Christmas book reading. And it was like the perfect book to start on. Because it was really cute, but it wasn't so cutesy like a Hallmark movie that you were just like, this is just massively I mean, it's fairly predictable because it's cute and that's who I am as a person. But it's not like the other one that's like the Royal Christmas. It's like, yes, of course, the ordinary girl goes to another kingdom and falls in love with the prince. Like, of course, that's what's going to happen because that's how those things work. And of course, no matter like what silly thing they try to have go in their way isn't actually going to be a factor because real life doesn't matter in those kinds of books. It just like magically works out. But with Snowed In for Christmas, there's like actual logistics to it. Like, one person like has a kid and it's like, okay, how does this actually work? But there's things like that. And then, like engaged couple where it's like, I love you, but it's like, if we can't work through these very important things, and like, it's not that love can't conquer all, but it's also like, some people just aren't compatible no matter how much you love them. So it's like we need to actually work through these actual things. And like the mistaken identity, it's like, that's kind of cute and fun, but it's like, okay, how does this actually work? Because we are still 2 adults, living in the world. And like, just because we had this kind of, meet cute, whatever, doesn't mean that it's just going to work out. And so that's something I really liked about the book is there was a little bit more of the like actual genuine logistics of just life and how it affects people as couples, how it affects, your dating life, how it affects relating to one another and things like that. So I really, really liked that book. It was all of the cute things that you know and love, but also like just a teeny dash of reality, and realism is not a word, but that's the word I want to use. Realness. A dash of realness to make it, a step above just the cutesy, rotting your teeth, sweet books. That's a book that I recommend for this Christmas season. I know that video will be going up after Christmas, but I will only be 50% of the way through my Christmas because I will have done half of it and doing the next half next weekend. So you still have a week to read Christmas books if you want to, or watch Christmas movies or enjoy Christmas music. It doesn't need to stop just because Christmas Day itself ends. That's how I feel about it personally, because I need to peter off my like Christmas spirit or I just get really sad. So I have to like slowly kind of drop things off. And then I allow myself my very last Christmas movie when I'm putting up my Christmas tree. That's when I'm like, okay, this is the last Christmas movie for, the season. This whole video is supposed to be about Libby, how awesome it is. Free, right there at your fingertips. There are no ads. There is no nothing. You don't connect anything to it. Like, it's just your library card. I super recommend it. I hope that you have book reading goals for 2024. My goal, so this year was 23. Assuming I get a book read in the next week, I'll make my goal next year 24. Just one book up. I don't go crazy. I tried to go crazier when I was younger and do like, okay, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, whatever. But now I'm like, okay, you gotta be more realistic. And if you do, 24 will be about one every other week. So 2 a month. So that'll be my goal for 2024. But yeah, I want you to read. I want you to enjoy reading. I don't want it to be burdensome. And so that's honestly been one of the big goals of my whole channel is to make reading more accessible to find books that you will actually like and enjoy. I still will recommend Goodreads. I think it's a great app. I think it's super helpful for finding books that you'll like. And then 2, in conjunction, using Libby to actually get those books. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find this helpful. 1, I would love to know if you had a goal for 23, if you met it, and what were maybe some of your favorite books from those that you read. 2, if you didn't have a goal, but you're going to have one for 2024, I would love to know what that goal is. And if you have any books kind of in the lineup for the next year. And 3, I just hope you have had a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope it has been full of love and joy and family and peace and all of the wonderful things that come with this season, because this season is super wonderful for a myriad of reasons. But the love that is infused to it is, for me, part of what makes it so wonderful. So I hope you had a very, very, very Merry Christmas, and I hope that you have a very happy New Year. So for my last video of 2023, I again want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Okay, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a great night, great week, great weekend, great month, great year. I hope you have all of the greats, because you're truly worthy and deserving of them. So until next time, and until next year, as cheesy as it is, bye. 再见。